Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we got a map which was originally scheduled to be reviewed on Monday. And then somebody released a new map. And that map, as it's pretty much guaranteed to be one of the best maps of the year, because it's by somebody, well, this map got relegated to Thursday, which is a bit of a shame because it's actually pretty nice, especially when you consider that
it's my first map.
I know, right? Now, it is a challenging map. It is not one for the beginner, but if you're an experienced player and want to play on something just a little bit challenging, it could be the map for you. And for that, you should scrub your hands with soap and water because of COVID. Oh no, hit the like button because hitting the like button really does support the channel. Thank you very much for your support. Today's map is Punta Verde Green Tip by Aevan Gaming. Aevan? I'm going Aevan. Punta Verde's Spanish for green tip, apparently. There's your start square. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? And it looks pretty flat. It looks it. Wait till you get down there. Then you have your terrain heights look like that, not resources. Resources coming up right now. Resources look like this and definitely very usable indeed. And then we'll have a little look at the fishing because if you've got Sunset Harbour, you might want to do some fishing and it'll look like that. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, actually not that much. It is a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. Other than that, we're using one set of trees. There is a theme LUT combo for which you'll probably want a theme mixer. Not essential. I am using it today. Of the Stray Cats Territory Homecoming and the Starburg themes mixed together. Of course, the realistic 1.2 LUTs because there is no LUT listed here at all. Despite having all sorts of settings and stuff that we can follow. But I think the map looks pretty good regardless. I mean, the theme mix is just a simple one and a really easy one to set up. If you've got theme mixer, doesn't take very long. Some of these maps that require a theme mixer, they take about 10 minutes to make sure absolutely everything is spot on. But not so this one. This one's just very simple, just the two themes, and just really, I found it really quick and easy to set up, which is pleasing for me because I spend plenty enough time trying to get everything else right for the show. So anyway, first map. So you can tell from the first map we've got a pretty smooth road layout. Nothing to complain about here. This is just clean and crisp. And occasionally we've got a little bit of drift between the two highways and it's been, I'm going to say, very professionally done. So all credit for this just very tidy work here. Now, Aevan Gaming does have their own YouTube channel. If you fancy going and checking out what they're up to, then I'll try to remember to link it. If I forget to link it, just click the link across to the map and they'll have it linked on the Steam Workshop page. So anyway, yeah, Punta Verde Green Tip. It's remember, we're only using one sort of tree here. And it's being used quite effectively. It's like a cluster of trees. They are terrain conforming. So we are able to use these on the hills and on the slopes, and you don't end up with hovering trunks and stuff. So there's going to be none of those showing in today's show. Another little bridge across another little windy little. Got some very nice windy little rivers going on today's map. They're fine. They're fine. The pillar placement on the bridges. You could argue there's room for improvement, but I'm not that worried about it. The map is one for building on, not worrying on. Now, speaking of building on, say it does look pretty flat. This area on the left here and up ahead looks pretty flat, but there is some undulation going on there, which we will check out, especially in the start square area, because that is going to be the one place that everybody will be building. And it's challenging. It's not impossible, and it's not one of these really ridiculously hard maps. But I think a lot of us will be, those of us that use mods, might be grabbing the terrain tool and just flattening it out to make it a little bit more pleasing. But if you want to play the classic style game with not unlimited soil and all the basic rules, this is going to be a map that will really give you something to think about. And maps that give you something to think about are rare indeed. Well, positive things to think about, sometimes negative things, like Blue Mantle. I mean, fortunately, we haven't got any Blue Mantle. Oh, darn it. Yeah, fortunately, we've only got a little bit of Blue Mantle on this map, and unfortunately, it's right on the start square intersection. A little bit of shark's teeth along the side here. That could be smoothed out just a fraction, but it's not the worst. Far from the worst. And we're in that start square, which can only mean one thing. The asset review. Let's have a little look at this. Now, this is another beauty. This is from Yinzerr, and this is the Chick-Fil-A. Now, I would have said Chick-Fil-A, because I'm completely blissfully unaware of this brand in the UK, but they are huge in America, and that's where today's factoids, because factoids is going to come from. Not going to the book today, because there was an interesting little factoid on Yinzerr's workshop page about Chick-Fil-A, about when it was founded and all that sort of stuff, and that it is located in 47 of the 50 states. Now, the 3 states it's not located in, you can probably guess Hawaii, and you could probably guess Alaska. But what on earth has Vermont done, huh? Why doesn't Vermont deserve a Chick-Fil-A? I'm sure they're planning like 32 stores in Vermont right now as we're speaking. But yeah, why Vermont of all places? I do understand Hawaii and Alaska because of distribution and all that sort of stuff. It's a long way from the mainland, but yeah. Anyway. Great work from King Leno as well with some of these props. But Chick-Fil-A by Yinzerr was a very nice piece of work. A long time in the coming too, apparently. Yeah, I mean, I do understand. You could easily guess Hawaii and easily guess Alaska because of logistics. It's a long way from the mainland, and it costs quite a lot, I would imagine, to air freight all the chickens and... well, I mean, whatever Chick-fil-A put in their fillets, I guess. Hang on a second. Fillet would be fillet, wouldn't it? So that is the chicken, isn't it? I don't know. Anyways, long story short, I understand those two. But Vermont. Poor Vermont. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Let's move on. Back to the highways. Again, the highways, there's not really too much more to report. It's just very slick and tidily done. You're going to like some of the standards. Well, you're going to like the standards. It's all crisp. It's crisp, it is, I tell you. It's crisp and clear. Crisp and clear is what I was going for. Never mind. And heading down towards the coast. Now, we have got one of these classic California-style coastal roads here. And that the highway just follows along the coast. And we're going to have some little elevated sections. It's all very scenic. I'm going to say it's very scenic. It's a map that is... well, there's not really anything wrong with it detailing wise, and aesthetically, if you like the aesthetics, you're going to like the aesthetics. I know it goes without saying really, but if you like what you're seeing here, you're going to really enjoy the overall aesthetic on your build, because there's not really anything surprising. There's no shock coming along. There's no but look at this. This map has none of that. It's good standards throughout. The challenge will be in the build, because it ain't very flat, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it can be. It depends on who's watching this. If it's me watching this, I'll be going, oh crikey, that looks a bit challenging. I'm gonna have to get the flattening tool out for that one, because that's me. I enjoy a city build, and I don't want a completely flat environment, but I do want it to be flat-ish. A few trees underneath the overpass there that probably wouldn't get enough light from under the highway, but we skipped over that. I didn't show you it, just noticed it as I was flying over, thought I'd mention it. But yeah, it's the challenge, and those of you that like the challenge, well, you're going to kind of like this one, I feel. And the hills over here on this side of the map are, I mean, you can build into them, you can, and you can do little communities and just have a good old time up in the hills, and maybe do yourself a little national park. National park seems like a good idea, actually. Anyway, we are heading towards the edge of the map here. I wanted to follow this route all the way to the edge, just because it is so scenic, even though there's not really too much to talk about, which is why I've been waffling for a while. And then we'll skip across to the rail. Now, we already know it's an undulating route, so therefore, the rail is going to be very uppy-downy, correct? Am I right? It's my first map, so not my first map, but their first map, so it's going to be uppy-downy and bumpy, yeah? No. Now, realism will have to be... If you saw Saturday's show, I quickly covered the maximum kind of incline you could get away with the rail. And in fact, you can get away with slightly steeper when it's elevated, because it's very hard to judge the elevation on the incline on an elevated rail. It's easier to see it with the land. Now, this map is fine. In terms of Cities Skylines rules, in terms of what you can get away with the eyeball checks, on the whole, it's absolutely fine. There are no stupid climbing up sheer faces or anything like that going on. We can go left or right here. Left goes to the edge of the map. Right goes to the start square. Let's go to the start square. So yes, there are like a tiny, slight incline coming up to get over the roads here, onto the bridge and over the road. It's not the worst. It's not the worst. There is a little bit worse to come, but it's negligible stuff. And we're only talking about people that are worried about true realism. Like here, we are slowly climbing up. This is probably 4 in 10, not 4 in 10, no, but just going back to my Saturday show, it's a little bit steeper than the 2 meters in every 100 maximum. There you go. So try 4 in 100 is what I was saying. That's probably what it was. Look, that was my eyeball check. I'm not testing it. I don't care enough to need to test it, because again, a little bit of blue mantle under there, deep in the hills. You will not see that in your city build, but I saw it on the fly through. Just because I'm flying through. Who else is going to follow the rail like this? Huh? Huh? Only a moron. That's me. I know. Anyway, heading down in towards the start square now. The rail takes a steady decline all the way down. It's steady. It's fine. I have no problems with it. If you're a true realist, you might have a little bit of a problem. But there is nothing hideous on the rail. Right, we'll take that intermission. We'll come back. We'll have a look at the shipping. Check the shipping routes are good. Check the water flow is good. And I've got a couple of things to show you with the map, which I feel might be a little bit of a snooze.
Philosophical question. What exactly is This Old Gamer? Is it an at-home shopping network? A cover band channel? The only real way to find out is go check it out for yourself. This Old Gamer is the most unique, entertaining, and funny Cities Skylines channel ever created. And I build some pretty cool stuff too. And with you coming along for the ride, nothing can stop us.
Have you taken the trash out yet?
Check it out. I gotta go.
And so back to Punta Verde, green tip by Aevan Gaming, and shipping routes. And they are fine. In fact, they are probably more than fine. Got the perfect little triangle there with the shipping feeding into a little dead end here. Could probably do a little bit of more of a route into this middle area. But then on the opposite side of the middle area, we have a couple of shipping routes at dead end over here. And it's all very slick and tidy indeed, with a little triangle here, which will take us down this way as well. Now, it doesn't go right the way through the passage there, through the straits, which I guess is kind of good, because it means you're not going to have permanent shipping running through the middle of your map. Now, water flow, if you want moving water, this isn't necessarily the map for you. This is your main river in your start square. And you can see there's barely any motion at all going on there. In fact, if you have a look here, the one arrow we've got is pushing in towards it. So there's hardly any weight of motion in that river at all. Come around here, there's a little bit of edge of map water flow pushing through the gaps. So there's if you're clever, you can find a little bit of moving water, but it's more one for your detailers and your modders and all that kind of thing. Anyway, let's have a little look at this undulating start square. It's just a little bit more than I'm happy playing on. That said, it's not horrific. It's not horrific. There is space in here that, again, with the flattening tool, with the leveling tool, you can smooth things out and actually have a nice, easy build. And if you want to play the classic game with no mods, it's definitely doable. I've got this this rail over here. Not sure where this is going. I've seen rail come down to little peninsulas like this. It's elevated, which is good because of water. You know, it needs to be. The tide will come in and out. But I'm not sure where that was supposed to go or where what it's meant to be. Is it a siding? I don't fully get it, but I don't completely dislike it either. Let's have a quick look around the rest of the map. We've got some hills over that side, got the main hills over this way, and a couple of really lazy rivers. I do like the rivers on this map. Not my favourite rivers that I've ever seen of all time, but I've seen thousands. I've seen thousands in this game. This is in the top few. This is just lazy and just casual, and I like them. I genuinely like them. I think they've been very well done, quite nicely tooled. There's not that much water flow going down them, which, you know, they're not like torrents. They're just quite nice and casual, you know. The hills are alive with the sound of all of these trees. My goodness, there's a lot of trees up here. And you know what? They look amazing for it. Considering we're just using the one type of tree here. This is great. They look amazing. And again, like I say, you could do a little mountain community in there somewhere. It's ripe for building. Now, if you think, this is it. I've seen it all. I'm good now. You haven't. How about this then? We're going to give you a big old bonus island, okay? Again, this is going to be tough to build. There's no real flat land on this at all. Some flatter bits, but mostly it is undulating. Down here, we do have one tree with its roots in the salt water. But other than that, I think we got away with it. And it's just super challenging. Now, you can connect this to the mainland, or if you really want to up the skill to the top level of hardness. Top level of hardness? I know what I'm talking about. Look, we have a highway and rail connection over here. So 81 tile unlock, start from here, build onto that. If you are a skilled player and you really wanted something difficult, go for that. Loving some of the sand work and the underwater sand texturing as well. Like here, this looks really believable. I've got a couple of banks over there which I can buy into as well. The thing I'm going to point out, and again, this is going to be a 30-second or a 10-second fix actually. The water flowing through here, would that carry the sand out here? This is sandbar, doesn't make full sense to me. I'd do a little bit of terrain work as well here, but I feel that the water would clear a route through like this, and the sandbar would bend around a little bit, is what I feel. Whether that would actually be the case, or whether I just don't know, but that's my gut instinct. I'm not marking the map down on it. It's just, and like here, we've got the water. You can see how it's been mostly cleared as the water pours out of there. So yeah, not a problem with it. Just sort of mention it, talking point more than anything. Anyway, what do you think of this map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Click the I button in the top right corner of your screen now. Take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. Okay, let's have a little look at my ratings. First of all, aesthetically, I think it looks great. I think it looks really lovely, really homely, really wild, really wilderness. Really crisp and clean and clear. Just really doesn't shine anywhere near like a 5-star map, but I like it enough to I'll give it a medium-ish 4. Yeah. Detailing, not too much to talk about, but what there is of top standard. A couple of hints of blue mantle here and there, but overall the standards are good, so I'm going to squeeze it into 4 stars, but I can just squeeze it. It's not too much to talk about really. Gameplay potential, it's the challenge on this one. I'm going to give it a 3 because most of us will not find this an easy one to play on, even skilled players. But it's 3 is a pass mark. 3 will be enough. Yeah, it's not a criticism. I just don't see playability long term. Punta Verde, green tip by Aevan Gaming. Very nice work indeed. It's a bit too challenging for my personal tastes, which is why we're just lacking the seal of approval there. I can't really seal of approval it. I could, but I can't. In my heart. I've got to go with my heart. Anyway, your chance now to be part of the 20 and out elite. Use the word of the day into the comments. Score yourself 100 population points just for fun and be part of the secret elite. Very few make it to the last 20 seconds, you know. Just you and me and him. See you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.